Good morning, Bears. Welcome to this week's edition of Knott's Notes. I'm going to jump right into it. The agenda for this one is on the screen. We're going to do some shout outs. We will talk about the department chairs meeting today after school briefly, and I will go over some logical advantages of why we are embarking on this PLC at work process today. And next week I'll get into psychological advantages, but today I'll focus on the logical advantages of doing so. So getting right into this, some shout outs. Thank you to the Guiding Coalition members for their work last week. We met on Wednesday after collaboration. We met for the entire day with Eric Atuini from Solution Tree, if you guys remember him. So shout out to Miss Jester, Miss Lawson, Miss Gibson, Miss Lopez, Miss Souza, Miss Mua, Miss Wade, Miss Valenzuela, Miss Smith, and Mr. Grattan. I really appreciate you guys' engagement during the day. I thought it was a really productive meeting. So a reminder to you all, if you have some questions about anything that we're doing with PLC process, or if you just want to get some insight into where we're at right now and what's been happening in those meetings, go ahead and reach out to those members when you see them out on campus. Also, shout out to the Science and Math Collaborative teams. Those were the teams that I dropped into last week with Ms. Smith and with Eric. Saw some really good collaborative work going on between those groups. Two different kind of styles, the way we saw it, but felt like I saw some productive conversations happening in those meetings with people either planning forward or reflecting back on assessment data. So, great job to the folks that were involved in that. I don't know if we've sent that feedback yet from those visits, but we will be getting that out if we have not yet. And then the last thing I wanted to mention too is a shout out. I know last week's video, the walkthrough data was not good. We did have some marked improvement this week, headed or trending back more in the direction that we would like to see it. Always room for more improvement. So I know Miss Valenzuela sent out some really cool stuff on CFUs as an example in the Bear Brief. Check that out. The data is also in the Bear Brief for the week too if you want to look at the specifics of the numbers. But thank you for being a little more intentional with our planning this last week, and hopefully we continue to trend in the right direction for that this week. Um, Again, the department chair meeting is after school, so department chairs, I'll see you guys after school for 3:20. The meeting shouldn't take too long if we're efficient with our time, so please show up on time. We will start at 3:20 in room 218. The agenda is linked, as it always is, in the calendar invite for that, so if you want to take a look at what's on the agenda. I will make this note to all staff. Please submit names for the Bear Strong Award. If you remember being at graduation, we always give out an award to a male and female graduating senior for exhibiting the qualities of strong throughout their time. So please submit nominations. It is very difficult because we have a lot of awesome students that are deserving of that award. So if you have some ideas, please submit names for that. Jumping into this last portion real quick, just some advantages of working in the PLC process. And I know this has been an ongoing conversation for the year, and I was reading some stuff earlier this week in a leadership book, and it was talking about making sure people understand logical advantages when they're being asked to embark on something. And I thought, you know what, it's a good idea. So I'm going to give some thoughts on what maybe some of the logical advantages of the PLC at work process are for you as a staff. You can see the three on this slide. The first thing being just having and sharing experience. It always leads to better outcomes. You guys know that teaching is difficult. It's a very hard job, and it should not be done in isolation. We have a lot of expertise on this campus, a lot of experience. So the more we share those experiences and those practices, the better off we're going to be. So again, never should be an isolated practice. It should always be a shared practice that we're doing. It also allows us to be more efficient and effective with our time. Our meetings are not very long. Our collaborative meetings are only 35 minutes. And in those meetings, we want to be efficient. So why do we want to reinvent the wheel when we have teachers who have tried and true proven methods of effective instruction to teach certain things? So why would we not just share those things and work together to be the best that we can be? So it's definitely a more efficient and effective use of time. And we know that's the commodity we do not have enough of ever. So the better we work together, the more efficient and effective we will be. Being successful teaching our students so that they are actually learning, which drives me to the next one, is that part of the PLC process is a focus on data as we make decisions on how we instruct our students. And there is no guesswork when we do this process. The data will let us know whether or not our students are learning what they're supposed to be learning. So use the evidence and take the guesswork away from it. It eliminates things like, you know, doing practices or implementing practices in our classrooms for arbitrary reasons. They should be things that are related to student success. So follow the data, take the guesswork out of what we do. This next portion right here actually resonates with me also. It's just a stronger support system for our staff. You guys hear me say or read what I say all the time when I always write, we're stronger together, and that is the truth. As I said earlier, teaching is a difficult job. It has a lot of demands on us, both cognitively, emotionally, the whole thing, physically. And so the more we work together, the stronger we're going to be together. And we all need a support system in this. And the better support system we can be for each other, the better off we'll be. And the next one is just about alignment and consistency across our campus. Our learning environments from class to class, from course to course, from department to department should be similar. They don't have to be exactly the same, but the learning experience itself, the type of learning, the level of learning that our kids should experience across campus should be consistent. And so the more we can get together on the same page on that, the better off it's going to be for our students and for our outcomes that we want for our kids. And the last one is just about growth. I am firmly of the belief that if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Nobody ever stays the same. We have lamented to some degrees about how our students are changing, and if we don't change with them, we are going to go the wrong way in that direction. So we need to continue to grow together, to continue to improve together, and to continue just to focus on student learning. And the more we do that together, the easier it's going to be for us. It's going to be better for us, for our students, and for us as educators. So it's kind of my comments on that, the logical advantages of working as a PLC. Next week, I'll talk a little bit more about psychological advantages, which are very much related to some of the logical advantages as well. But that's going to be it for today. I want you guys to have a great day and a great week. Go Bears.